The first step of the agile planning routine will be to create planned supplies for all existing not covered demands while ignoring the due date perspective. Let's look at that in Business Central. From the reverse planning journal, I will calculate all the critical items, and I will calculate within the period I'm looking at, of course, and then calculate according to 0 and triggering on end inventory. And if I'm on a later iteration calculating for safety stock or reorder point, I'm doing that, of course. Calculating this will create items that are critical, and be aware here, for example, of item 1300 with an end inventory of -32. And I have another top level item here, so the first item will be critical in itself. But now when I'm suggesting quantity to order, maybe up to 0 and using order multipliers, order modifiers, like this, and accepting those, adding them to the quick journal. So the first line in my quick journal now will be item number 1300, but I know that my item number 1000 are also creating depending demands using item number 1300. So I just created more demands for the same item like other items in the hierarchy. So I need to run this as many times as I'm having new lines in the journal, in the reverse planning journal. Suggest quantity to order, it's the same. So in this scenario, if you look at those lines here, you can see my item 1300 showed up again and just suggested another 40. So if I'm looking at the graphical profile here, not including my reverse planning lines, I can see on the green graph that I do have something in the planning journal already. This is just to explain how it works. If I'm including my reverse planning line on this line here, I can see that I have a positive end inventory. And of course, when I'm carrying out, suggesting this quantity to orders in here, the item number 1300 will be added to the first line. So instead of creating 2 lines of item number 1300, it will just change the quantity to 80. So this way, when I'm drilling down my hierarchy, it will just add the same item if it shows up again. If the depending demand gets bigger and bigger, it will just add to the lines. If I'm not going to view this all the time, I could just click auto run suggest order quantity and auto run create orders, meaning it will create all the lines, add the order quantity, transfer the lines into the journal, and when I know my item hierarchies, I will know how many times to do this. So if you have like 5 hierarchies in your items or your 5 low-level codes, you'll just need to do this 5 times and then you're done. Meaning you could check it in the end by deselecting those 2 again, and then it should provide no lines. And if you're lucky with that, you could open the quick journal, and now we have created supplies for all not covered demands up till 0. So this is the first step that we need to do. And of course the dates in here are basically all wrong, so we need to talk to the vendor in the next step.